It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football and certainly the loudest as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Kansas City Chiefs. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Watch twist.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Mahomes. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
It's 4th down.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line.
Check. Alert 3.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Rosen, blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's Hill on the return. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
This is Harris. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Well, a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 25-yard line. Mahomes now on first down. He gets this one to Johnson. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Yellow. Go, go, go.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Exit. Check. 59. You must be dreaming.
Now on 2nd and 16. Mahomes to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there, creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 29-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
Middle.
On 2nd and 7, Rosen connects here with the tight end Blake Jarwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players who somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. A gain there of 21 yards. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain it.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd down, Rosen. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. This will be caught inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now Elliott. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Elliott. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So it's 3rd and goal now, and this is where the Arrowhead crowd can make it very tough. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Darius Slayton, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Looking to throw is Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Bravo! 54.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
15. He's coming. Double up. He's coming.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now.
2nd and 8 at the Cowboys' 47-yard line.
Yellow. Come back. Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field. Yellow. Shit.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one 28 yards on the ground. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
He's coming. We got double up.
Now on 2nd and 13. Rosen, he'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
3rd it. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Nicole Hardman, the intended target.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
They'll try and run with Harris. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Mike 59. Mike 59. Scene 6. Give these tracks. Let's go. Mike 59. Mike 59.
On 2nd and goal, Mahomes. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Throwing now is Mahomes. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And this one is right through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. This is Elliott. And an alley to Ezekiel Elliott, going to take it the distance. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter?
So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They go to Elliott again. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, Rosen. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
I got you.
From the 39, Mahomes. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still, no yardage. Okay.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Kansas City. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Second and 12 at the 16-yard line.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come out here. Come get some. He don't want it.
On 2nd and 12, Rosen gets this one to Hill. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. Now on 2nd and 13, Rosen, catch made by Slayton. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. 13
yards and a first down, Cowboys. Rosen now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Elliott. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Cowboys on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. A 20th carry here for Elliott. They find some open field here. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Elliott running right, and he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
But a spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
On 2nd down, it's Hill. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action, throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
He's NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs.
On
3rd and long, it's Mahomes trying to lay one up deep. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
59, Mike. Check, 59. Let's go, D. Let's go. Under crunch, under crunch, under crunch. Bang, 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 bang.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. Completes it to Hardman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
Rush in, rush in, rush in. Attack, attack. Attack.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. A 24-yard touchdown as his guys are back within a single score.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
And the Cowboys are able to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Elliott, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got Halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Hey, Tank. Mike, check, 59. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take it.
On first down, Mahomes. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Watch the call.
Mahomes now to throw. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 43. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a one-score game. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Mahomes now on first down. He finds his man Johnson. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
42-yard line.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Watch the twist. Right there, 54, right there, 54, 15. Quit talking about it and bring it.
They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 25-yard line.
Nice, well-coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
He's back to throw. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Mahomes. It's brought in by Harris. And they'll get this down to the 10. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Hey, you got your 1st down. Get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it.
First down and 10 yards to go.
Hey, Riblin. Go on, Eddie.
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Well, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys, and never an easy thing to come into Arrowhead and get the victory. One of the toughest places to play in the league, but they did it.
Some of the best fan support in the league. They take pride in it. They love their team. They rally around them, good and bad. But when it's good, it is so difficult to come into this place and get